Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Unit Lost. I am Stylosis. So, last Friday, I was asked by Omen to go and appear on this brand new show called the Omen Esports Report down in London. Now, the reason why they wanted me on this is because they wanted me to talk about Overwatch, obviously, talk about Hammond and all of that stuff, but talk about Spitfire and Hurricane and a little bit of Overwatch League, because this is a brand new show that Omen are putting together. It goes out once every single week. I don't think I'm going to be on it again because I was just there just for the kind of Overwatch League segment, which is really cool. But I wanted to upload this to the channel so you guys can check it out and see what's going on, because this was streamed live on Twitch and I think it got a really good reaction. But I just want to throw it out there because it was so cool to do this. And I don't know about you guys. I don't know what you guys feel like when you watch yourself back on like film or camera, but I feel really embarrassed watching myself back. Anyway, enjoy it, ladies and gentlemen. It's me trying to be professional. Awesome.
Coming up on the very first episode, we've got British consultant to London Spitfire and general Overwatch obsessive Stylosa joining us for a chat and a bit of a challenge.
And we are lucky enough to be joined by my good friend and top UK streamer on screen to talk to us about all the latest and greatest esports news.
And we're super excited to welcome pro player Sendo to the show. He'll be sharing his top tips for improving your League of Legends game.
And that's not all. One of you lucky viewers at home will be in for the chance of winning an amazing prize if you correctly guess the result of our game-breaking challenge.
I'm Frankie.
And I'm Parla.
And this is the Omen Esports Report. Esports Report. This is the 30-minute live show that brings you the latest news from across the world of esports.
We also have pro players, guests, and tips to help seriously improve your own gameplay and some less than serious competitions. Frankie, let's start the show off with a bang by introducing our first guest. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Stylosa!
Oh, yes!
Welcome, brother. Great to see you. Oh, sorry, I did not mean to interrupt.
Oh, my goodness. Men just before, apparently. Absolutely fine. So, Losa, you're known as the British consultant.
The British consultant.
It's a very fancy title, isn't it? The British consultant.
But what does it mean?
It sounds very fancy.
It means I'm an expert in crumpets with Marmite, how to make tea, and apparently flying Spitfires as well.
I'm going to give you a test, though. How do you make tea?
So you put the tea bag in, and then you put the water in.
Yes.
And then you put the milk in, then you put the sugar in.
You've got to leave it 3 minutes, though, before the milk.
No, it depends. Sometimes 7 minutes. I think about 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Very precise. This is why I'm,
But there's only tough questions on the Omen Esports Report.
Sometimes about tea, other times about hardcore esports topics. Perhaps we should dive in straight away.
We should,
with regards to Spitfire.
We should, because they won the Stage 1 playoffs of the inaugural season of Overwatch League, but they're currently sitting 9th in the table.
Yeah, massive, huge start to the league. Stage 1 champions, go down in history for that. Fantastic achievement. But then we had a little bit of a slump. Now, the good news is we are on the up and up now. So I think that the timing is probably perfect. We're about to go into the playoffs. So hopefully we can carry this through into the playoffs, into New York, into the finals, win Overwatch League. It's that easy.
Yeah, and tell us about all things British with regards to your team, because you have a challenger team known as the Hurricanes, and they are in fact 50% UK players.
Yeah, so it was a big thing for us to make sure we develop local talent. And in very early on stages with Hurricane, we realised we want 50% British players because we know we've got the talent in this country. We just got to find it. And yeah, Hurricane went out there.
I feel you on that with regards to another esport.
Well, I mean, Hurricane went out there and they won the EU contenders, and then they beat the NA contenders. So effectively, they are the best non-Overwatch League team. 50% British.
And so essentially what you guys are doing is intending to flood Overwatch League with British talent.
Well, that's the
European
dream.
Talent.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, it's kind of undeveloped in this country right now for, finding upcoming talent, and that's kind of what we're trying to do with Hurricane. And the results so far have been fantastic.
And what's your specific role with regards to the Hurricanes and how you grow them as a team?
Yeah, I guess with Hurricane, it's an interesting one because, like I said, it was our primary focus was to make it, as British as possible. It's a fantastic team and a fantastic setup. But I think,
Hurricane, like, I can't really say a bad word about Hurricane because they've performed above and beyond what we expected. It's all like, honestly, it's so awesome.
They are basically the best contenders team out there.
Yeah.
So where do you go from here? What are your goals for next season? Because contenders season 2, doesn't it kick off literally this weekend?
Yeah. Win again, and again, and again, and again. I mean, it's as simple as that, I suppose. We go into this though with more pressure because being the reigning champions, people obviously want to take that title away. So.
And you've added a new player as well recently.
Yes, a new British player. We added Mikey A. And we actually had a German player as well, Nesh, who's a Widowmaker specialist.
How do you discover those players? Do they go through contenders trials?
Yeah, it's like a mixture of that. It's through contenders trials. You know, do the players perform well on ladder? Do we know of the players from other teams maybe that we could bring in? So it's a lot of like elements that we bring together.
And going back to the main team, the Spitfire, they have a trip upcoming to the UK. Right?
Yes, totally. So yeah, we're going to bring Spitfire over to the UK when Overwatch League finishes. We're going to take them around like all of the sites.
Definitely London. Right, let's just get that out there right now.
I am the Queen. I will receive them in my flat in New Cross. I'll hoover and everything.
Hang on, the Queen lives in New Cross. What?
Yes. Oh my goodness, we can't get the guests these days, can we? So you're going to take them around London.
Yes.
Millennium Wheel, Eye thing, whatever it's called.
Well, I mean,
the Millennium Eye.
The big eye. The big wheel.
And not just London as well. Like we would like to take them around the country as well.
Director Dan has just been like, it's called the London Eye.
Yes, indeed. We have official clarification from the Word of God. Moving forward, a bit about yourself, Starlos, in terms of history with Overwatch. You've been involved in the scene for a while, and how does that help you with dealing with Spitfire and the Hurricanes?
Yeah, like I've covered Overwatch since the game began, since it was in closed beta, which, I mean, it's 2015, I think. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's a weird one to explain. It's like it's almost part of me now. It's been my life, you know. It's crazy, and obviously that gives me like a unique perspective when it comes to you know, the community and how like we can relate to the community and do other kind of things like that with the teams.
And yet, despite you being part of Overwatch from the very start, we decided to bring you down to the Omen Esports report and challenge you with an entirely different game. And I'm blaming this guy because he's a CSGO head.
Might have had something to do with it.
You might have indeed. So we thought you would be our crash test dummy, really, in the very first Omen CSGO headshot challenge.
Okay, Sty, you are now ready to compete in our Omen CSGO Headshot Challenge, playing on an Omen by HP gaming desktop with an NVIDIA 1080 Ti. You have professional gear, but are you going to have a professional performance?
Undoubtedly, yes. I've got one issue, though. This doesn't look like Overwatch, but I think I'll do okay because I play a bit of Soldier. Soldier's kind of got an AK-47, right? Your rifle, yeah.
Yeah, slightly comparable. We're playing on aim bots made by Uletical, a very famous aim training map. Professionals play on it. Other people like myself play on it as well, just to keep up the skills. Have you done anything like this before?
Yeah, on this map, weeks of training because I knew I was coming on to the show, so I'm like, I've got to practice for this. I need to get the 100 kills. It's doable.
Okay,
it's doable.
I'm not sure I believe you. I have already set my score on this, and other members of the crew have as well. And when you finish, your score will go onto our hallowed Omen leaderboard for the challenge. All I have left to say is, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, well, Sty, let's get it underway. The first headshot will set the timer, and then you have 60 seconds to score as many headshot kills as possible. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, the first headshot has been had. No, that's not a bad start. You're already up to 6 kills. Just so you're aware, some of us in the studio have already set scores, including myself, and so there's some stiff competition out there. You're not doing too badly at all. We've got the bots diving and jumping around.
It'd be easier if they stood still.
I know.
I feel
that's usually how the pros and most Counter-Strike players warm up on this map, but we've switched it up a bit here, got some movement going. The lateral movement, the crouches as well. You might even see some jumps come out.
I swear some of these are landing. They're just not registering what's going on.
Look, excuses aren't going to help you right now. You need to get that aim on point, Sty. And as you kill more, they get further and further away, bunch up together. And you've got, in just a moment, 10 seconds remaining.
How many have I done so far?
You're doing good. 3, 2, 1. Sty, hands off the keyboard and mouse. Congratulations, you've completed the Omen CSGO Headshot Challenge. How do you feel you've done?
Feeling confident. Probably top of the leaderboard. Easy game.
That's going to be tough.
No, I believe.
All right. Well, let's
Easy.
find out exactly how you've done and head back over to the couch. Congratulations on your performance. I mean, now that it's all said and done, how do you think you did?
Well, I think it was out of 100, right? 100's the limit, so 90.
Oh, okay, so you think you got 90% down. I can confirm your score as I write it down, because I know what the result was. Don't peek. And it's where you are on the leaderboard that counts, our hallowed Omen leaderboard.
No, it only counts if you're over, if he's over you. Right? Sorry, Carla. Sorry, just to
Moving
correct you
forward
there.
quickly, I'm currently in second place with 32 frags, on screens at the top with 38. And Starlosa,
Hit me.
you're second place with
Oh,
35,
yes.
sir. Congratulations.
Yes.
Let me move myself down. Very unfortunately, that. But that's a great performance, I must say, especially by someone that doesn't play too much CS.
I did do years ago, but yeah, I'll take that. I'll beat you. I mean,
Well, now, as much as I do appreciate a good game of Fortnite, there is one game that's super close to my heart, and that is, of course, Overwatch, which is why I'm so happy to have you here, Sty, because yesterday in the studio, I kind of maybe slightly broke my microphone because they dropped Hero 28. I was looking at Twitter and my jaw hit the floor because I felt so stupid that I hadn't put two and two together and realised what Hammond was.
yeah, neither did I. I thought he was a monkey from the moon.
Me too.
A monkey from the moon and a hamster. It's quite comparable.
Yeah, it's pretty similar. Right? It's pretty similar.
Yeah, Hammond is definitely a species of monkey, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it's insane hero. So you've got the small hamster, Hammond, inside Wrecking Ball, which is a killing machine, which looks like a hamster ball.
Hamster in
So-
a wrecking...
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
let's just
yeah.
not sing.
He actually has a highlight intro. He has a highlight intro on the Wrecking Ball.
Yes.
When it explodes and Hammond sort of flies out, it's quite sad, and he sort of flies away.
But he's also associated with the Junkertown law.
Yes, he is, yeah. Hammond's kind of story is he escaped with Winston from Horizon Lunar Colony, like attached to Winston's sort of pod. And as Winston was going down to Earth, Hammond's broke off and he landed in the outback, in Junkertown as you do, and naturally decided to build a killer mech and go and...
I think the
become an arena
Overwatch
champion.
lore is so cool, and the background stories, everything. Should we move on a bit from Hammond and talk about the recent patch? Is it 1.25 and how that's going to affect the meta and gameplay?
Yeah, so I think like we've got a lot of stuff which have hit Overwatch recently. We've got the LFG system now, which personally, like, it's been something that I've really wanted to see in the game for a long time. This allows you to form a group, which is great. So if you want to be a tank player, so if you want to be like Reinhardt, you can go in and say, I'm going to be a tank player, and then build a team around that. And that is like crucial. I think as well, you've got the endorsement system. So yeah, sure, before we could report people because we don't like them, but now we can endorse them and say, hey, you were a great teammate. So that's a great addition. Then we've got things like the nerf to the Shimada brothers' name, the bow, what's his name?
Hanzo.
Hanzo, yeah, which is coming in. Although that's coming in
They're
later.
doing lots
but
and lots of
there's a lot.
changes to
Yeah,
Hanzo.
it's difficult to keep track of like a lot of the change, but this is one of the benefits of the game. Like, it's so dynamic, everything changes all the time.
And we have to quickly talk about Symmetra because she's
Yes,
come out the PTR,
huge
she's had her
changes.
changes.
Yeah.
That ultimate could be a big game changer, and maybe she'll start getting picked for Overwatch League because she's
Well,
kind
yeah,
of
so
been
she's-
underused there.
Yes, underused. She's never been selected at the pro level for Overwatch League, which is pretty huge, really. What they've done is they've moved her teleporter to a standard ability. So now she can teleport more often, and she can basically teleport the entire team into positions you wouldn't expect to see them in, which I think we're going to see some very interesting strategies with that. Also, with her ultimate, it is now a huge barrier, which just cuts the map in half, and it's got 5,000 hit points. So that is
I think
crazy.
Sounds balanced.
that sounds
Oh,
awesome.
it's crazy.
We actually have to say thank you so much
Big
to
thank you,
Sendo,
guys.
to Onscreen, and to Stylosa for being fantastic guests on our first episode. If you want to find out what's coming up on the next episode on August 3rd, check out OmenEsportsReport.com.
Also, do not forget to follow us at Omen by HP_UK to keep up to date with all things Omen.
Goodbye!
Peace.